For years, Rolevote has remained the sole owner of TUI. Yet despite controversies within his community, accusations against him and the people he's associated with, and criticism, his reputation is still intact. So why is that? The first part of how he is still seen as a good person is how criticism is handled. He continuously makes claims and hides behind them. Every time he's gotten in trouble, such as about 2 days ago actually, he sends out a message, and then he waits one day, maybe even a month, even 6 months, and he still comes back because the community just stops talking about it. Here are images of this exact thing happening. By itself, taking a break from the community isn't unusual. I think he's fair for doing it sometimes, yeah. The bad part, though, comes from the fact that many people feel some concerns are never fully addressed, such as the game's monetization. Over the last few years, his game has also become overly monetized. Game passes have been added because one person has bought something worth it. Not only did he add a game pass that cost nearly 100,000 Robux, he gave it perks to make it look better and get more people to buy it. That isn't the first time that he's made a game pass for 100,000 Robux to appeal to people, believe it or not. Anyways, to repeat my previous point, this has happened for years. There are a lot of different examples of this, such as this one. People have argued that revenue has become a higher priority than a balanced experience. The features being added to the game also reinforce this impression. Jin and Pi were the only ones advising against these additions. But now that they've left, no one is advising against it, and monetization has become much more aggressive. Answers to criticism such as this are also a recurring theme. Several of Rolevote's responses focus heavily on certain points that he can answer best, while leaving ones that are much more serious unanswered. Actually, he's already done it with the other mysterious man's video to give himself extra points with the community. If these concerns are addressed in his response to this, if he makes one, that's great. But ignoring them or waiting for people to move on doesn't actually solve the underlying issues. Rolevote has also trashed on TC and TM as a whole by adding things that are not related to a single troll face in any way. Quick question, have you seen those videos where it's like connecting Chris Deltarune to George Washington trademark? It's sort of like that. He's added Invincible trolls, One Piece trolls, Vocaloid trolls, Attack on Titan trolls, JJK trolls, DBZ trolls, etc. I have to add an etc. here because the list is long. Though TC and TM are both bad games, I and a lot of other people do not believe that you should be calling other games bad for things that make your game bad. In Rolevote's defense, he's apologized for some incidents, and I understand that running a large community is difficult. Those are fair points I'd like to consider. But the question isn't whether he's ever done something good. It's whether these controversies have been addressed adequately. Okay, here comes the scary part from the disclaimer. So, if you're queasy, probably skip ahead to the timestamp shown on screen. Ready? Here we go. Another concern that most people have is what they see as favoritism within the community. Rolevote has invited people who have been involved in serious controversy, such as DRX and Skunky. To understand why this became controversial, I'll give you a brief rundown of what both of them have done. For a brief rundown of what Skunky has done, He was an ex-TUI developer who coerced other developers on the team he was previously on to make animations for them and have him take the credit. He has also roleplayed with pleasure in mind with someone underage. Here are some images of this. He is currently in the community as a moderator. For a brief rundown of what DRX has done, similar to Skunky, he has also texted someone underage, but with a larger age gap. Then, he got a girlfriend who was 14, and he was an adult by then. Many people see this as favoritism, because he continued bringing them back despite their past actions. This gives the impression that personal relationships are being prioritized over accountability. I believe this demonstrates his nepotism for this exact reason. This is prevalent in times when he's hired DRX back onto the team under a different name. That, and he's invited Skunky back into the community. I will let you know this now. This was not originally in the script, but I will be using words that allude to different meanings so YouTube doesn't take me down. You will most likely be able to tell when I do this. Rolevote has also put his friendship with DRX over his actions multiple times. DRX has relayed Seawall things towards one of his developers and their 11-year-old brother. When the developer tried to pursue DRX into legal action, Rolevote pushed the developer away from taking action for what DRX said. All Rolevote said during the time was about his religion, which is also another large concern. That's all there is to that topic. This is the segment you'd skip to now. Let's get out of the deep end. The part about this that I want to point out is the fact that he overly uses religion, not just to defend himself, but to defend the things other people have done. Rolevote frequently appeals to religion while responding to criticism. It has been a recurring problem with Rolevote that has mainly been left completely unaddressed for the most part. Rolevote has also used Jesus for the gain of his own money, as shown with the Jesus event that he added to TUI at one point, and bringing up Jesus in global announcements, all for the sake of getting people to invite their friends to TUI. I believe another important piece of evidence is that he's also shown clear signs of racism. Some people have interpreted certain comments that Rolevote has made as racist because he brought up someone's race during an argument and later made jokes about Muslims and terrorism. Alright, getting out of the serious section, I have an off-topic statement to make. I would also like to leave my overall identity ambiguous due to how people who have spoken out against the topic have been silenced. I'd get in a lot of trouble with the things I'm saying. I don't want to really get people riled up against me. Rather make a documentary on the topic. But if you think you know who I am, you know who I am. I am not going to disprove or prove any of your theories. I think I'd like to bring this whole thing to a conclusion. At the beginning of this video, I asked a simple question. How has Rolevote managed to keep his reputation despite years of controversy? After looking through the whole shtick with the responses to criticism, monetization issues, the people he's continued to associate with, and the way accountability has repeatedly been handled, I think it's clear Time has done a lot of work with Rolevote's actions. Controversies happen, things go into a fallout, but everyone just moves on before the bigger questions are answered. I'm not even expecting this video to last a week because everyone just stops talking about it eventually. This video isn't trying to cancel someone. It's about asking whether the standards we apply to everyone else should also apply to people in positions of influence. If serious concerns keep being ignored because enough time passes, then nothing actually changes. We've talked about trollage games like this before, and yet TUI is the only one that just doesn't have anything against it when things like this happen. This is getting highly hypocritical, and it's been a recurring pattern too. This isn't the first documentary ever made on Rolevote, most likely. And I don't think it will be the last. Whether you agree with me or not, I encourage you to search for evidence yourself. Question what you've heard from Rolevote, me, and all of the other videos people have made on this exact topic, and come to your own conclusion. That's all I've wanted this video to do. Nightmare. Out.